Do I break the news yet? I don't know. One of the biggest lies that we're all told in the fitness industry. I also want to show you guys something, little thing that I've been working on. I need help. So this was something that really like rocked my world and was a hard thing for me to unlearn. It's just such a cute outfit, and the irony is that those things quite literally saved my fitness journey. This is where it's about to hit the fan. There's 100% a bell curve when it comes to fitness. I mean, what am I waiting for? I guess I'll let you know. Welcome back. Do da do da dee dee do da do da dee dee do do do. Okay, really quickly put my lip gloss. Tarte Maracuja, whatever this is called. Maracuja. I found it so funny. I feel like I've never set my camera up right here. Welcome to another video. I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. Are they making a TikTok? Oh, they're doing a workout. Okay, I'm chronically online. Anyway, let me address the elephant in the room. I haven't uploaded a vlog in like what, 2-3 weeks, and I kind of have reasoning, but it's also kind of an excuse. Well, really, I have a video literally recorded, edited, ready to go, and I did that weeks ago, but it was a sponsored video, and unfortunately there was kind of some difficulties on the back end for the brand that was like the sponsor of the video, so I'm like really waiting on them to like give me the go ahead to actually be able to post it for the campaign and everything, so that's been a delay, but otherwise I would have had that video up and ready to go a couple weeks ago. There's a whole workout happening right now on my street. I'm not even kidding. They're doing like banded lateral walks. But then last week I went to Kauai because my good friend Rachel, if you guys know, you know, if you know from the beginning, you'll know right when I like documented when her and I became friends. Anyway, she got married, which was super exciting. So that was beautiful. So I was on Oahu and Kauai for a week with her and everything. So that I was also traveling and and then I've been really focusing on short form content lately, like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. So I've been trying to post like 2 to 3 times a day on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and like Instagram when I can and everything. So that's just like kind of where my mindset has been. I also haven't posted on the podcast in like 3 weeks, so I get it. Like I'm a mess, okay? I'm a mess. But also I'm trying not to be so hard on myself because it's kind of like this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a creative outlet and like whatever I'm naturally gravitating towards and like what format I'm feeling called to create in is like fine. Like I don't need to judge myself for not being on all fronts, you know what I mean, at this time. Short form content has just been where it's at for me. I've been feeling most like pulled and creative in that sense, so that's what we've been doing. Anyways, today's video is going to be all about 3 things that I wish I knew in my fitness journey. I kind of had this idea to start a little mini series on TikTok and I was like, why not bring them to YouTube? I realized I feel the most fulfilled in my content creation when I'm able to like actually be helping you guys with things. Like don't get me wrong, I love to have fun and I love like documenting my life, and that's part of it, and I think that there is value in that for you guys, but I also think there's a lot of value in a different way of kind of having that educational sense. I just feel the most fulfilled in that way because I know me 5 years ago was always like desperately trying to learn more and like figure out how I can get out of or like overcome the things I was struggling with. So we're gonna get into that today. I'm also just kind of gonna keep vlogging my day. I think I'm gonna go do an a full body circuit today. I hit upper body yesterday. Yeah, I just kind of want to like catch up. Also, happy June. This is my favorite month of the year. It's also my birth month. I kind of feel like everyone's a little bit biased, like their favorite month of the year is their birth month, but I'm just a summer baby. I love summer. Growing up, June was always so exciting because like school was ending, summer was starting, and I love that my birthday was at like the start of summer. Like it was just so many exciting things, as opposed to like August. Like yes, it's still a summer birthday, but you'd have to wait till like the end of the summer to celebrate that, and like that means when your birthday was there, school was coming up, you know? So I loved that my birthday was in June. It's June 26th. It's also my golden birthday. I'm turning 26. Okay, don't ever crash out. I just triggered myself. We're trying to have peace with aging and getting older, but wow, it feels so crazy to say that I'm turning 26. Like, what? Anyway, so I'm like really trying not to crash out over the realization that I'm turning 26. I mean, I knew I was turning 26, but like saying it like that is just like, what? I think just because I remember growing up of being like, because you know some people would have like the return 16 on the 16th, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be like mine's not until I'm 26. you know, like, and I'm 26 now. That's so weird. Anyway, it's fine. We're gonna be fine. It's a privilege to get older. It really is. Okay, so first thing that I desperately wish that I knew that literally would have changed everything for me, and I honestly think it's like one of the biggest lies that we're all told in the fitness industry, is this notion that like the harder you train, the better for fat loss specifically.
Like sweat is your fat crying. Like if you want to drop body fat, like you need to be doing hours and hours of cardio. You need to be doing a ton of HIIT cardio. You need to be training so intensely to get your fat to melt off. Like this whole notion that like the harder you train and the more intense you train is the best approach in order to drop body fat. Like you gotta blast your fat. Like fat blasting workout, all of that.
That just creates like literally that notion is quite literally the opposite of what is the best strategy when it comes to fat loss. And this is something that I unfortunately learned the hard way. So when I went through like my first kind of leaning out phase that I went through, it was very easy for me because I didn't really have a lot, like I didn't really have weight to lose to begin with. Like I just kind of did a little bit more cardio, but I already was still like pretty lean. So then the next time when I went to drop body fat, that bulk specifically, I gained significantly more weight than I did when I went through my first bulk, because I also was like drinking alcohol. I was a sophomore in college. I was kind of like the biggest I'd ever been after that second bulk, and I got really uncomfortable in my body, and I just was like, okay, like I need to drop body fat now. I need to do it now. And I took a super intense approach. I literally slashed, I wasn't even tracking calories at that time, but I did just to see what my calorie deficit needed to be. So I spent like a couple days tracking just to see where I was at in my surplus from my bulk, and I think I was at like high 2000s, low 3000s a day, and I slashed my calories by 1,000 in order to drop body fat because I didn't take into account that I was already eating in a surplus. So I think I just used like an online calculator and was like, oh, this is my height and weight, what's my deficit in order to drop body fat, and it did it from my maintenance calories, not like what I was already eating at. Like I didn't factor in that I was at a surplus. So I ended up slashing my calories like literally by over 1,000, and I put in 4 HIIT cardio sessions. Like this was all overnight. Like I was like, I need to lose body fat now. I need to do it now. So out of nowhere, before I was just weight training, eating a ton of food, obviously. Literally overnight, I slashed my calories by over 1,000. I put in 4 HIIT cardio sessions a week on top of the intense weight training that I already was doing, and my body was absolutely wrecked. Like at first, I started to see progress. I started to lean out a little bit just because I was like in a deficit to begin with, obviously. But then it was so high stress on my body. My cortisol levels were freaking out. It was so intense. My body was so stressed out. And I think also the reason why why it like backfired for me so much is that I also was a college student. I was super stressed, studying all the time. I was always on the go. I was going to bed late. So I just was like never really resting. So on top of like the stress that I already was having with like college life, like on top of that, I added in a lot of stress with my fitness regimen and my nutrition. And so it just literally threw my body all out of whack. So then I ended up losing some weight, like I said, but then it backfired on me and I started to gain the weight back and more, again, because it was so high intensity. And I don't want to like get into the nuances and nitty gritty and making it more complicated, but our stress hormone is called cortisol. And the best way I can describe it is that cortisol is a fat storing hormone, meaning the higher our cortisol levels are, the more likely we are to store body fat on our body. So basically, if we want to create a conducive and productive environment for our body to feel safe to drop body fat, we need to make sure our cortisol levels are at bay, which leads me to this point, this whole long story I'm building up to say, the best strategic fat loss approach is the most stress-free one and the most slow approach, because again, we want to make sure that we're doing to keep our cortisol levels at bay, to keep a really fertile environment, I want to say, to drop that body fat. Because again, if our body doesn't feel safe enough to shed the body fat and to shed the weight, it's not going to. And a kind of a way I like to describe this, like an analogy, is like if you had a baby and you were trying to get the baby, like it's a little, like he's crawling and you want to try to get him to walk. If you have this little piece of candy and you take it, you get him to stand up and you just run away, he's just going to plop down and sit down and start crying because it was too challenging. The gap was too big for him. You know, he felt defeated and it was too much for him and he was overwhelmed. Whereas opposed to if you took the candy and you kind of slowly inched him along one step, he's wobbling, one step, you'll get him to take a few steps. You know what I mean? It's more kind of an encouraging environment. It's more manageable for him. That's kind of how I describe it with fat loss. Like if you take the candy and sprint away, that is the analogy for taking a really high intensity weight loss approach, as opposed to you kind of slowly inching him along. That's this more slow, low stress approach to fat loss that is more conducive and more productive. So that was such a big thing for me. The slow and least stressful fat loss approach is the most strategic and efficient and best way to do so. And the other piece of my experience story is that then another time when I went to drop body fat, okay, so this was when after I went through that really difficult time trying to drop body fat, I took that really intense approach, I gained it all back. I was struggling for like a year to drop any weight because I just didn't understand. I was like, I'm trying so hard, I'm so disciplined, I'm working so hard and I'm not seeing the results, right? Again, because I thought the intense approach was the answer. So then next time around, once it finally clicked for me, and it really all happened because then I ended up going to study abroad in Europe. I was in Spain, and inevitably you walk more. And so I just inevitably was having more of like a lower intensity, low maintenance approach to fat loss, where I was still increasing my caloric expenditure by walking so much, and I didn't even realize it, right? So I started to see some fat loss progress then, and so then I kind of carried that over at home, and I was like, wait, like walking actually is making a difference, and things started to click for me of like, oh, it's really not necessarily about the intensity, it's more so about the overall strategic approach, which is keeping things low intensity so that I'm not overly stressing out my body so it can feel safe to shed the weight. So the next time around, I increased my step goal, like I said, and I just slowly started to decrease my portion sizes of what I already was eating, rather than creating this huge calorie deficit of slashing my calories in a super obnoxious way. And with that strategy, I lost weight. My body responded so well. I was able to keep it off. It was also a way more sustainable approach as well. I wasn't contributing to more like inflammation or like bloating because my body was so stressed out. Like just overall, I felt so much better as well in that lower stress approach. So that's my tip number one. Literally, I would have saved myself years, or at least months and months and months of struggle, if I just released that notion, that propaganda in the fitness industry that the harder you train and the more intense you train, the more fat you're gonna burn. No, you want to take a slow and low stress approach. That's going to be the most efficient and strategic way to drop body fat. I also want to show you guys something, like little thing that I've been working on. Well, basically I found this really super cute and talented graphic designer with such a unique style, and I think I saw her, like she went viral on TikTok, and I was like, I'm obsessed with her style. So I wanted her to make me like a little YouTube intro, and so I kind of just want to share with you what she's made so far. I like sent back like edits that I want her to make and stuff, but this is like the first form, and I just figured it might as well be fun for you to show you, because also I wonder if by the time I post this, her final draft will be done. I'm not sure, but here's what we're working with so far. It's so cute. Like her style is just so unique, and I just think it's so cute because I feel like I have a more like youthful kind of vibe to me, and I feel like that's how like her creation style is, and it's so cute. So I'm really excited to see it come together. I wanted her to change like the background. I just feel like I told her like pinks, blues, and yellows, but I just feel like the plaid is a little bit preppy for me. So I told her I kind of want her to sub that out amongst other things. So you'll see the differences once it's like finalized and all done. So I'm really excited about that. I've been working on that. I think they'll just be like a fun way to kind of upgrade my videos and also give like all my videos a little bit more cohesion, I guess, with like a uniform kind of intro and everything, like a little TV show. I also have received such great PR lately that I'm really excited about. Honestly, let me know if you guys like how you feel about PR hauls. I personally love watching them, and I love filming them. Like literally, fun fact about me, ever since I was like, well, my cousin and I used to have a YouTube channel. Growing up, I had two different YouTube channels, kind of. My cousin and I used to post on YouTube, and then also my childhood best friends, who I'm still friends with them to this day, we also had a YouTube channel. And so I just always loved YouTube, and literally I would be like in my room pretending to be like, okay guys, like this is what I got, blah, blah, blah. I would like pretend to make haul videos when I was like 10, 11, 12 years old. So it's always something that I love to do. So I like sharing it. I totally get if some people think it's annoying or comes off in a weird way. Like totally respect your difference of opinion. And I also just want to use it as a way to say thank you to these brands for sending me everything. So first and foremost, my loves over at Coco Kind, they sent me a restock of their little ceramide lip balm. I love these. I keep them in my purse all the time. This is in the color Be Kind. This is the PR package that I'm most excited about. That's also why I like to share it, because they're like kind of little accomplishments for me, like, and just like a testament to like the growth of this brand and everything. Like the fact that these crazy companies are recognizing Live Fit and are like willing to send product over is really exciting for me and like something I'm proud of. So Saie Beauty, I've been wanting to try them for so long. I see them everywhere, and they're a non-toxic beauty brand, which I love. So I've really been wanting to try them for so long. I'm not a really huge makeup person, as you guys know. I love their branding, and I love how they kind of give more so like basic products. So they sent over honestly quite a few things in here, which I'm so excited about. So they sent over their SPF tinted sunscreen in the shade 3.5. I also don't even know how they knew what my shade is, but then they sent a buffing brush, which honestly, again, I'm not the biggest makeup person, so what would I use this for? Like genuinely phoning a friend. It's called the buffing brush, not really sure. And then they sent the double brush. It's a dual-ended sculpting brush, which I'm honestly excited they did send accent brushes because I really didn't have any. This is called the base brush, which I think this is for, yeah, foundation brush. This, I wanted to try this so bad. If you guys know Melody Miles on TikTok, I see her use this all the time. She's also a big reason why I wanted to try all of this stuff. This is their Glowy Super Gel. It's a dewy illuminating fluid. I think you put it on before your like foundation or concealer, I think, and this is in the shade Star Glow. So I'm so excited about that. I also just love their freaking packaging. Then they sent over 2 different concealers, one in the shade 8 and one in shade 9. Again, not sure how they knew this was going to be my shade. I'm hoping it matches. Then they also sent 2 different blushes in the shade Chili and Rosy. I'm so ecstatic. Like, this is so generous. Saie Beauty, if you see this, thank you so much. And then they also sent their Soft Focus Liquid Bronzer in the shade Spritz. That looks dark. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it and see. So that is like, I've been ecstatic about this and I just keep staring at the box because I love it. This package is actually for a brand deal that I'm doing on Instagram. Then I have a whole box from PROMIX, which, do I break the news yet? I don't know. I mean, what am I waiting for? I guess I'll let you know. I guess I thought maybe I could do it in a more like dramatic announcement. I probably will on like Instagram or something. But I'm officially an affiliate with PROMIX, which I'm so excited about. It's kind of crazy because this was even before I was signed to ALPHALETE. I was like, this is like my new goals. I mean, my goal always was to work with ALPHALETE, but I was like, if I could work with ALPHALETE and PROMIX, like that would be so cool. And like, that's what I'm doing now, which is so, like, I'm so grateful. I'm so excited. The longer I do this and the longer I like stay dedicated to my goals and just keep walking the journey, it's crazy how much things just come into fruition. And I really want this to be a testament to you guys. Like I say it all the time on my podcast, the concept of just like staying in line. Like if you stay in line long enough, eventually your time is going to come. You just cannot give up. Like the only way to fail is if you quit. And I just feel like my journey is a testament to that. Like this hasn't really been an overnight thing. It's been a really slow, steady grind, but like slowly but surely the things I've wanted have come into fruition in some sense. So I just want to push that to you guys to believe in yourself and continue to stay devoted because your time will come if you just truly do not give up. So the reason why I love PROMIX is because they are a more natural based supplement company. They don't use artificial sweeteners. They don't use artificial colors, anything like that. And I appreciate that so much. That was a big confliction, like internal confliction that I was having because I've always had kind of my fitness side. And then the older I've gotten, I've been drifting more so into the wellness space as well. And I kind of have struggled where I felt like the supplements I previously was using was kind of contradicting my wellness approach and like me caring about ingredients and stuff. And so PROMIX truly has been the most perfect, most aligned supplement company, and ever since I discovered them I was like, yes, they get it. So now you guys can use code LIVEFIT to save on your purchase, and it will directly support me if I can speak. So I'm just so excited. So first I have a little PROMIX water bottle. I ordered their pre-workout. This is in the mango flavor, which I actually have yet to try this one specifically. I've tried their electrolytes, their protein powder, which is so good and like generally the best on the market, especially in terms of ingredients. Their de-bloat drink and their little protein bars, which I love all of those. I also got some BCAAs to try. So this is strawberry lemon. I have a little variety pack of their protein. And I also got a big mama jamma of their chocolate grass-fed whey protein isolate. So like the ingredients in this chocolate protein is only grass-fed whey protein isolate, fair trade organic cacao, organic coconut sugar, and less than 1% of sunflower lecithin. That's it. And in 2 scoops, there's 31 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 1.5 grams of fat. I just love them. I love what they're doing, and I really feel so aligned with kind of their approach in the supplement space. So I'm so excited. Again, you guys can use code LIVEFIT to save on your PROMIX orders from now on. I'm so excited. And then I also got some PR from 3D energy drinks, which if you didn't know, the same owner of 3D is the owner of ALPHALETE, which is super exciting. So they kind of went through a little, I wouldn't say a rebrand, like a revamp. And oh, I forgot I put one in the fridge. They launched some new flavors. I'm gonna get the other one so you can see it. We have Liberty Pop Watermelon Grape. This is Blueberry Mist, Cucumber Melon, which sounds so interesting. And then Strawberry Lemonade, which I'm confused why this isn't like a pink can. But anyway, super excited to try all those. And then lastly, I have this massive box from Timeline. It's nuts. Healthy aging is on the menu. And they literally, it's their longevity gummies. They're for cellular energy and muscle support, which is super cool. But they literally have an apron in here, a whole plate, and silverware. So this is like the most interesting PR box I've ever gotten. The second thing that I really wish that I knew in the beginning of my fitness journey that also would have saved me a lot of trouble is that more does not always equal better in the fitness space, okay? I feel like we're totally taught that the harder we train, the more you train, the more disciplined you are, the more intense that you are in your training, the better you are, the more returns you'll see, the more muscle you'll have, the less fat you'll have, the better you'll be in your fitness, just everything. And that is just unfortunately something that I had to learn the hard way not to be true. I kind of blame this notion on my father. God love him, but he just has always been a very strict gym junkie person. So this was something that really like rocked my world and was a hard thing for me to unlearn. I think especially with females in fitness, whether you'd like to admit it or not, like females are biologically different than men, meaning that we train differently, our body reacts differently to training, we can handle different amounts of stress than men do. And so I think especially for women in fitness, like there is such thing as too much, there is such thing as training too hard, there is such thing as being too lean, right? Like all of these things are possible, and there's totally a time where going so hard in the gym or working out so much or eating so leanly or being so restrictive with your calories could really end up harming our internal health, which then impacts our other areas of fitness as a result of that, which was kind of another sub point. Like I just had no idea how much our internal health was impacted and how our internal health plays a role in our fitness and like in our performance and everything. So I kind of like to describe it that there's 100% a bell curve when it comes to fitness, where there is a point where it's diminishing returns, right? Like there's points at the beginning of the bell curve where we can put in more, we can get a little bit more disciplined. Maybe in the beginning, this is if someone is barely training or not training at all, they're not eating very healthily, things like that, where there's still room, right, to grow and get better and deepen into our fitness routine and everything. Then there comes to a peak of the bell curve, right, which I think is the Goldilocks zone, the sweet spot where we're still able to maximize our returns. We're kind of squeezing everything we can out of what we're doing without it being harmful, right? Whereas opposed to on the back end of that bell curve, when it starts to go down again, that's where we're training too hard. That's when we're training 6 to 7 days a week. That's when we're doing 5 sessions of HIIT cardio. That's when we're really eating very lean and our body's not getting enough carbs or fats. That's when our hormone health starts to get impacted. That's when we are not able to sleep well, our recovery is lacking, things like that. And that I have 100% experience being in that zone where I went a little bit too far on my fitness and I went a little bit too hard. I was too intense. I was doing so much. I was walking 10,000 steps a day. I was doing endurance training on the bike. I was training really hard with lifting weights. I was also doing HIIT cardio. I was also eating very lean, and it just was too much on my body. I ended up losing my period. My cortisol levels were a mess. My sex hormones were a mess. My estrogen was super low. And that is just a perfect example of me going too hard and having diminishing returns. I'll have some photos on the screen of me going through that time. And again, it really got to a point where I almost was causing myself to go backwards in my fitness journey, not only with my internal health, but also even with your mental health and with your life enjoyment. When we get so strict on fitness, it ends up restricting us in our day-to-day life. It ends up making us having to miss out on memories and like actually living experiences. It makes us super mentally consumed with our fitness, where we're then not able to put as much energy into our relationships, our friendships, our family, our work, our other hobbies, like other things that exist outside of us other than fitness, that I think is so important to lean into as well. So trust me, I've had my fair share of where fitness was like my whole entire life, and like the only thing I thought about and completely consumed me. And I honestly would argue that I was honestly one of my most unhealthiest versions, both mentally, internally, maybe not so much physically, but definitely mentally and internally. So that is the second thing. There is 100% such thing as too much being too much in the fitness space. There's totally a Goldilocks zone. More does not always equal better with your fitness. I'm gonna go to the gym. Why is my camera so crooked? We're gonna go to the gym now, and I'm going to hit a full body circuit, and I have no idea what I want to wear. I really would love more pairs of ALPHALETE sprint shorts. I really hope they like relaunch them again or something. I think actually I'm going to wear this set. The leggings are downstairs. This is the, why do I always forget what this bra is called? They just launched it, but I can never remember. Not the infinity bra. Trinity bra? I don't know what it's called. Interval bra. That's what it's called. It's just so cute. I forget what this color is called. Oh, I think it's dark navy. But look at how cute. Like, I love how it goes up like that. It's so flattering. The neckline and like this cutout here is so flattering on the delts. And then of course this little wrap cross waistband. I love it. These are the Wrap Tenacity legging. And the back has like this really pretty cutout. It's just such a cute outfit and I just feel so badass. Code LIFTIT to save, of course, my all-time favorite activewear. And my third tip that I want to share with you guys today is that low impact movement actually works and it's beneficial. Walking, Pilates, yoga, all of those things I literally never paid any mind to. I truly thought those were forms of exercise for people who like weren't taking their fitness seriously or like weren't tough or like weren't willing to put in a lot into their exercise and like wanted the easy way out. Like I literally, like honestly, just to call myself out, I had no respect for it. Not really, I just thought that like it had no place for me. I was like, I'm someone who wants to be really fit. I want to be really proficient in the gym and really strong and capable. And so I just thought that like those things weren't for me. I kind of thought they were for like older people or whatever. I really thought they had no place in my fitness journey. And the irony is that those things quite literally saved my fitness journey. Back to my previous tip of how I got on the other side of that bell curve where I was going way too hard and way too high intensity. Walking, Pilates, yoga, those things saved me quite literally to bring me back into that Goldilocks zone. I constantly was training so hard all the time, 6 days a week, either lifting as heavy as I possibly could all the time with no breaks, no deload weeks, or I was doing HIIT cardio, which was super intense form of cardio, or more often than not, I was doing all of those things together and it just was so much for my body all the time. And then there was a point in time where I was adding on 10,000 steps on top of that and it just was like so much all the time. Turning to these low impact forms of movement allows my body to still like move, have exercise, have movement, but without this high intensity that's really like wearing down my body. And it also allows my body the time to recover as opposed to me constantly just like slamming it into the wall of training so hard all the time. So now I have a very balanced approach to my workouts and like that's why I really like sharing my workout splits to share with you guys that balance is possible and you don't need to just completely go full force into one thing. Like you can kind of take the benefits of all different forms of movement because truly every single form of exercise has a place. And so now I'm weight training 3 to 4 days a week. I'm walking a few days a week. I'm doing yoga or Pilates once a week and I'm keeping that kind of cohesion where I'm still able to again stay in that Goldilocks zone where I'm still able to maximize my progress in the gym, maximize my health, maximize my goals and everything without overdoing it. Walking also was literally one of the biggest reasons why I was finally able to lean out when I was struggling at that point of time. Again, because it was allowing me to still burn calories without ramping up my cortisol levels. It was helping actually lower my stress hormone. It wasn't spiking my hunger, all of these things. And it was honestly the medicine that I needed in order to drop that body fat. My body would have thanked me for it so much if I actually started to have respect for low impact movement sooner and incorporated it sooner into my fitness journey. Okay, so I actually need to stop at the store really quick to get a couple bottles of water for an ad that I actually have to put together tomorrow. Yay, they have it. I'm gonna get 2 just in case.
Number, please insert cash or complete electronic payment on PIN pad.
Okay, I kind of want to play with this Saie makeup and stuff because, listen, the problem is... Hey, wait, this is criminal that I'm doing this after I hit a full body circ and I didn't shower. But I really didn't sweat. Also, whatever, sue me. Anyways, I'm not the best with makeup. What was I saying? Oh, the problem is then I'm like, when I go somewhere, I'm like, oh, cool, like I'm gonna try to put this on and then I like didn't practice and then it like looked like I don't know what I'm doing because I didn't practice. And my sister's always like, you need to try it. You can't put it on for the first time when you're about to leave the house. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. Oh my god, it almost just fell off. Okay, we're off to a great start. Okay, this is way lighter than I thought. Whoa. A little bit goes a long way. I think this is supposed to give your skin like a little subtle glow. That little bit I was able to put all over my face. Let me get my clip-on light so you can see something. I really do, like, I can tell in person it added a little glow, like a kind of a subtle sparkle all over my face. Like you can kind of tell it's like sparkly on my hand. What an interesting product. I'm so weird. I put everything back in the box because I like the box. All right, so then they have 2 shades of their concealer in 8 and 9, and I think 8 is my shade. But also, I don't know what I'm doing. I just love their little packaging. Look how cute. A foundation brush and a buffing brush. What does the buffing brush do? I think for this one, I should use this double brush and maybe use this end to do my concealer. Like, guys, any feedback would be great. I feel like that did something, and I didn't even put that much on. This is where it's about to get crazy. They sent one of their bronzers. This is in the shade Spritz, which, like, look at how dark that looks. That looks pretty dark. And also, like, I need help. What do I use to blend cause it's a liquid bronzer. That's a foundation brush, a buffing brush. Can I, see, like, that's not gonna work. Maybe I could use this. Can I use this end to buff the bronzer? Oh no. This is where it's about to hit the fan, because I've never used a liquid bronzer before. But I know you do it under the cheekbone. Okay, I did 2 dots under the cheekbone, and then usually people go here, 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 here. Do I use the buffing brush? Oh no, my camera's dying. I need instructions on these boxes, to be honest with you. I think I could use the buffing brush. Okay, wait guys, this was easily solvable with utilizing my resources. On their website, it says the base brush, which I thought they sent that to me. Yeah, the base brush is made for super glowy skin tints and dew bronze, which is what I have. Okay, here we go. I'm literally on their how to use section on their website. Okay, this actually blends like very easily. I like that. That was easy peasy. That blended really well. Okay, then lastly, I have some blush that I wanted to use. Okay, perfect. So it did say this is for the Slip Tint Concealer and also for blush. All right, let's do... I think I want rosy. Use the large end for sculpting high points of the face to highlight and conceal soft areas. So I think the small side of this brush, it's saying is better for like under eye concealer situation. And then this part is better for like blush. Okay, I like putting my blush pretty high up on my face. Like I put it up there on my cheekbone. I saw that somewhere online to help like lift the face, and I really do feel like it makes a difference. Cute. I feel like the side profile is eating. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to get used to like how much of everything I'm gonna need. I feel like you really can't tell in this lighting, but I like it. And I feel like everything blended really well. I totally forgot to put on this skin tint. Okay, so really, I would put on this glowy super gel first, then put this on, then the concealer, then the bronzer, then the blush. Wow, this is so much fun. Another thing I really wanted to share with you is that I actually am going to ALPHALETE next week, which I can't believe it. You guys know I've been an organic fan of ALPHALETE literally since like 2018, 2019. And I literally, like, I was a fan of them before ALPHALETE was even a thing. And then I watched the journey when Christian, the owner of ALPHALETE, was building ALPHALETE because he like documented all of it on YouTube. So to be able to actually go is insane, and also being able to go while working with them on an official basis is really freaking crazy. Like, just dream come true. So I'm so excited. I'm actually going to Texas for a completely different work trip. I'm actually doing a brand deal, a couple brand collaborations with Best Western, which is also so sick. I'm going to Houston for the Best Western gig, also to go see ALPHALETE, check out the space, and then also I'm going to South Padre Island again for a deal with Best Western. I am so incredibly excited about that. That was like a big goal of mine this year, was to work with more like kind of travel companies and like especially hotels or like Airbnbs, anything like that. So I'm really excited for this opportunity with Best Western, really just like build my portfolio up and everything to hopefully continue like working with travel brands in the future. So I can't believe it. Like, it's so crazy. And I remember, like, I don't know, a few years ago, I just would always be like, if I could travel and have that be work, like that'd be so cool, da 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 da. And like seeing how that really is a part of my workflow is so just surreal to me. So I'm just, yeah, very exciting things. That's where I'm gonna be next week. I'm literally flying out tomorrow, and I of course am gonna vlog the whole like ALPHALETE experience. Also working with PROMIX now, also super exciting. Code LIVEFIT will now save you at PROMIX and also on ALPHALETE as always. Just a lot of different exciting things on the brand side. I'm kind of on the back end of things, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me and being here. I love you guys so much. If you guys want to see anything specific, like especially while I'm in ALPHALETE, or like just any other video topics that you want me to touch on this summer, definitely drop them below. I'm super open and receptive. So I love you. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you at my next, not episode, video. Peace out.